All right, so this is Infinity Pool. It just came out. It's directed by Brandon Cronenberg. I have plenty of things to say about this. I'm probably going to spoil a little bit too, so you've been warned right off the bat. So, what it's about is James Foster, played by Alexander Skarsgård. He's a writer. He wrote a book. I think it was like 6 years ago. I think it said that in the movie, and it didn't do very well. Right? Luckily, he married rich. Right? So he's been able to still support himself, but he's had writer's block for this amount of time when he's working on his second book. So they're on vacation, him and his wife, to this island, this other area. I can't remember what it was called, but they don't play, right? Like, it's the government over there, the police over there, they clearly don't play. It seems like they execute anybody for anything. So yeah, it's crazy over there. Very dangerous whenever you're not like in that particular area. So James, he meets Gabby, who's a fan of his and read his first book and everything, played by Mia Goth, her and her husband. And so they decide to go to dinner with them. And after going to dinner, they then decide to go out with them. They get a car and they go have like kind of like a picnic. So even though things are a little bit weird, things are somewhat normal, and they're kind of getting to know this other couple. So they get too drunk, right? And, Mia Goth's character, Gabby, her husband, drove there, but he's a little too drunk to drive back. So James ends up driving, and he ends up hitting a man and killing him. They're gonna, just kind of leave him there and go back to the hotel like nothing happened, but they get caught almost immediately. So as a result of that, he is to be executed because this fucking government over here, they don't play. This island, they don't play. But there's a way to get around it to where they can, you know, they can punish him, but he's foreign. He can still end up going back home, and that's when things get really crazy. I don't think this is a good movie overall, right? But there's plenty of good things in here to the point where I was going back and forth on whether to give it a positive review or not, because there are some just really good aspects to this. For one, the cinematography is great, right? This place is shot really well. It really builds the atmosphere. It makes it feel, not only is it beautifully shot, this area looks great, but it also, it's shot very dynamically to where it does add to the creepiness of it. Even when things have not, happened at all, the score and the cinematography and things really, help build like tension, and like you feel it feels unsettling even when nothing has happened yet. The performances are all great, especially Alexander Skarsgård. You can feel pretty much every emotion from this character, from his performance. Even when things are not too crazy yet, there's always this feeling of him being nervous or him not really knowing, where certain things will go, and being, scared, right? Like you get a lot from his performance of this character. Like a lot of what you feel, you get from feeling it through him, and I thought he was really good in that. Mia Goth is also really good, even though that she gets downright cartoonish by the end, and I didn't care for that. But Mia Goth, once again, she's really good. She's been good in pretty much everything I've seen her in. So the way that they do this is this other government, somehow they found this way to clone people. Like they put you in this pool and they clone you, and they execute that clone so that you're able to just kind of go off. They're foreigners, they have money, they're like, all right, pay this amount of money, they're going to clone them and then kill the clone, so that way they still get to, I guess, have their punishment, but the person gets to go back and it's not an international incident potentially. And because you just kind of wake up, right, and you just go to watch yourself, because they force you to watch your clone, or I think they call them doubles, get killed. There's this question of, okay, am I the real one, or is or is that the real one that I'm watching get killed, right? And you're really watching them get killed. They're reacting like they are actually you, like they are the real one. And that's how it gets in with Mia Goth and these other people in that group, because they've all also been killed or had their double killed, right? They call themselves zombies and things like that. And not only is it, uncomfortable and things like that, it's, horrifying, but they also kind of get some kind of pleasure from it. Almost like the group of people that he gets in with, they're on that vacation specifically for that. Like they start doing certain things knowing that when they get caught, they will not get killed, but their doubles will, and they get some kind of pleasure from that. There's also, drugs involved, orgies. I think there was either one or two orgy scenes with this group, and this group is, they get crazier and crazier as things go on, and even James, Alexander Skarsgård's character, starts to pull away from them because of how crazy they get. It feels like one of those movies, and I've said this about a few. Like last year, I said it about a Thousand Years of Lying, and with some of the weird stuff going on in that, and Don't Worry, Darling. I think I said that about that, where it feels weird, but really for no point, right? Like they have certain things to say, there's certain interesting things about it, but when it comes to the overall plot of the overall story, I'm confused on what it really is supposed to be, right? Right? Like, what are you trying to say with this? There's kind of a theme of him being called a coward and things like that. Where is that going? I don't know. Why does it end in the end? In the end, because it gets real crazy by the end, but in the end, it kind of feels like it just kind of ends. And it's like, well, why is it over now? Just because their vacation is over, I guess. It's like, what am I supposed to take from this? And I don't know. It's going to be one of those where people are like, oh, well, you just didn't get it. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I didn't get it. But as I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this, or I'm enjoying parts of it, but where is it going? Right? Like it just kind of feels like it's just things are just happening, right? And the pacing is slow as shit. Movie, I think, is right under 2 hours or about 2 hours. It feels like it's at least three because there's a lot of, kind of dragging along with it because you don't know really what the point is or where it's going, right? Is it about him just going along with this so that he can clear his writer's block for his book, regardless of how far it goes? Is it about, him finding some kind of inner strength or something, or him trying to really get away from them? They're the actual villains of this, which they still kind of are. And by the end of it, it's just like, no, I guess he's just gonna go home. It's like, for me, it just didn't fully come together. I just, even though I liked a lot of it, I felt a lot of, throughout a lot of the movie, I was like, where is this going? You know what? I actually don't care anymore. That's pretty much it. It's like I said, from a technical aspect, it's great, well shot, great score. It really builds the atmosphere, the creepy, eeriness of this place and what's going on, and it's really unsettling in a really exciting way. And it has some good concepts in there, and the performances are great, especially Alexander Skarsgård. But when it comes down to it, it just kind of felt, I don't know, it felt kind of pointless. Interesting, but kind of pointless in its writing for me. By the end of it, I was like, okay, well, I guess it's just over. What was the point? I don't know. Maybe I just didn't get it, like I said. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to give it a rental. I was back and forth, right? I was thinking about, this is fine. I guess I could still give it something. But by the end of it, it just kind of, I was like, well, I don't know if I could really recommend this to anybody. Maybe certain parts of it, but not really. So yeah, I'm giving Infinity Pool a rental. That's it. Subscribe, and we're done.